Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for tuning in for yet another interview. Today, we have a really good one for you, not only because we have a really interesting guest, but we also get to talk poetry, which is one of my absolute favorite things to do, as you know, because you've probably seen all of my haikus that I've been sharing on the shorts reels lately. But you're here for the interview, not to talk about poetry. So without further ado, I have KG Miceli here to talk about her new TV show, which is based off of her book, The Tales of Texas Road. We're going to get into some poetry and I don't know, whatever else we can find, probably some hot topics like coffee or tea and who knows. Let's just see what happens. So without further ado, let's jump in. KG, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show
Of
with you
course.
today.
Why don't you, for those who aren't familiar, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit?
So my name's KG Miceli. I am from Windsor, Ontario. I'm a Canadian author here. Um, I started off writing thrillers, which then I got into poetry from there. Um, I kind of kept going with my thriller work until I started writing books that were more about true haunted places and actual haunted locations, which I would actually go to these places and kind of get a feel for them. Some of them I had some weird, experiences myself, which kind of it piqued my interest at writing about those locations. So that's mostly what I do now. I do write poetry as well and things like that.
So not only are you an award-winning author, but with the Tales of Texas Road, you're venturing out to make it a TV show. Can you tell us a bit about that and how that all came to be?
So funny story with that. I was actually so this was before the book was actually released. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 days before the actual release date. I was at just like a craft show at here in Windsor, something for like a Christmas market, and I was selling some of my other books, and I had my sign up, and it had the cover of the book said "Tales of Texas Road coming soon," and I had this up on a big like stand, and someone kind of made an approach to me, and he saw the sign, and he says, "I want to make a TV show with you." That's originally how this started. That's how this all came to be, was from my friend and associate, Walter Riggy. It's through his company name is Riggy Media International. He's the one who found me, and then from there we kind of just became friends and then became partners on this project. So it's been great. Um, I did end up becoming the director of it, so there's something I can add. Like now I'm directing a TV show, which is kind of cool, a little bit scary, but yeah.
That's got to be a hectic one.
Yeah. Yeah, going from just being a writer to, well, now you're a director within just a couple months, like, and you don't really expect it to be coming. That's just kind of what happens.
Right. Because that's got to be more of now you're not just, oh, hey, this is my book, we're finding stories, but now I've got to micromanage all of these people. What are they going to wear? What makeup and all that stuff that comes along with it.
Right, exactly, exactly. And sometimes it is a bit of a chore, especially when it comes to like having to find these locations and get in contact with people and just things like that. It's a lot of small little things to manage all at once and in a short period of time,
Right.
because we've already managed to get quite a bit of it started. Like we've got a good start at this, and we've only been filming for, I want to say it's been less than 3 months since we started it.
Yeah, that's crazy though, because I keep an eye on it because you put frequent updates on Facebook and such, and so
Mhm.
I'm able to see the cool things you're doing and the stories that the people are putting out. Um, I imagine a typical day in filming is probably pretty hectic. So what does it look like for you? What does a typical day entail?
Um, So, I mean, it's hard to really say exactly what a typical day would be. Um, we do it mostly evenings throughout the week, like after 5 p.m., because most of the shots we got to get, it's darker out. It's not middle of the day. So we got to wait for it to be like right around when the sun's starting to go down. A typical day, I mean, we figure out the location we're going to go to, because we never really know that until, the day or the day before. Head out to the location. Usually, I pick up some of the actors, we head out. And then from there, it's just it's just kind of calling the shots, hey, you stand here, make this face look like that, and things like that. So it's a lot of work, especially when it's coming to, it's almost like a form of art where, like in photography, where you have to put something in a specific area, and then you're trying to get the right lighting, and then you want to, make it look the way you want it to look.
Right.
I find that it is like a form of art in that aspect. So in a way, I guess I already kind of had a knack for being able to figure out exactly what we wanted to capture. And then with the camera guy that we have, he's awesome, and he's great at just capturing exactly what you want.
Yeah, I would imagine too that it definitely helps because in TV and even just writing and everything in general, the more creative you can be, the easier it is to translate, at least I find, into different aspects of creativity. So the writing into the directing, into the finding the perfect shot and setting everything up because you're like, your brain already works that way. So you're
Right.
already like, okay, I see this, let's do this. Okay, what about this? Because your brain's already moving in that direction.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I can definitely agree with what you're saying there.
Um, So I think I might know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyways because you have your partner. Was there a lot of research that went into your equipment, or was he like, "Hey, I've got everything. I've got a camera guy. We just need to hire a crew and find people to do job A, B, and C."
Yeah. I personally don't really know too much about that aspect. That's kind of run by them. So he already had a crew that he worked with. So I'm not sure what they did on their end. I just kind of tag along and then, kind of direct the scenes themselves. But any
Right.
of that technical stuff, I have no idea. We'll have to have another interview one day with them on the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, because I was wondering about that because I'm like, I was thinking about that when I was creating the questions for your interview. I was like, I
Yeah.
wonder if she's taking care of everything, or
Yeah,
what the
and I
case
think
was.
part of it is, yeah, because he's made other TV shows and things like that in the past. Like he's done a lot of like, music videos, and he even does like audiobooks and things like that. So he's kind of dabbled into that for a long, long time. I think that's where he already had these people that he's probably worked with for years. So he
Yeah.
knew exactly who to call and who he wanted to be there. So
Yeah, he's probably got his favorite crew that he works with for certain
oh yeah.
projects.
Oh yeah, and I can see why. I mean, they're all awesome. Everyone.
Right.
I mean, and it's like you see behind the scenes like footage sometimes of like, when they're making the show and everything looks like chaos. Everyone's fighting. No one can agree on anything. It's a lot of screaming and yelling. I I mean, I could imagine it probably is actually like that for a lot of people, but for me, like, we haven't had that issue. It's been nothing but like I want to say almost every time we go, it's smooth sailing. Sometimes there's like a couple hiccups, but you kind of figure them out as you go. And as a team, we kind of come together and figure, okay, how are we going to do this? Okay, let's do it this way, without everyone stepping on each other's toes and things like that. So it's been a blessing to have everyone in our group be just so kind and courteous to, I guess, everyone's ideas and what
Right.
they think, you know?
That definitely helps because I've been on some creative projects where it's like you've got when you get too many creative minds in one room and you're all working on the same project, everybody has a different idea of how they go about things and the way they see things. So that can definitely be a main issue when you're like, oh no, I think it should be like this. No, no, it should be like this. Or how about put the light there? No, 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 we got to put it back here. So to definitely have a crew that gels and is courteous and
Right.
listens to ideas
Right, it's
probably takes a
definitely
lot of the
oh, yeah,
stress out of the room.
definitely, definitely.
um, what has been your favorite part so far of working on the show for you?
Hmm. I have to say my favorite part is seeing some of the finished, like, none of it's really finished yet, but seeing what we've done all kind of come together in a video. Like, I've been watching the raw footage, like, the rough stuff, and it's just honestly, it's looking so spooky, it's looking awesome. He's doing so good with the edits and everything that it's just so exciting to see what we've done. You go out for so many days out of the week, and it's like you just feel like you feel like you're just working continuously, but without seeing what there's to show for that, it's hard to know like what you've been working towards. And it definitely is like It gives you that push that you need to get it done, because it's like, oh wow, we did this, this, and that, and this is what it's going to look like. So
Right.
getting that visual, I'd say seeing the products is my favorite part. But
Right. That's got to be exciting too, because even though it's not all put together yet, you're like, oh, I can kind of see the vision of where we're going with things piece by piece, and so
mhm.
probably getting antsy for the rest of it to be done.
Yeah, yeah, it's making me like, I feel it feels weird that we're not out filming right now, but I'm like, gotta work tonight, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. But
Right.
sometimes it's like you just want to go out every day, get it done, because it's like I want to see this finished product.
Right. I don't know if we mentioned it or not, but can you kind of give an overview of what the Tales of Texas Road is? Can you kind of give people some insight? Because I know that's more of a Canadian spot, like specific to you, where things have
Yeah.
happened.
So Texas Road is a place that's so if you're familiar with the United States, right from the Detroit and Windsor border, so from the Ambassador Bridge, it's about an hour drive from there. So it's not too far into Ontario. It's yeah, about 45 minutes outside of Windsor. There's a road there that they actually have closed off now. The spot where the paranormal stuff happened is blocked off. It's more like an overgrown trail now, so you can still get through. There are signs on most of it that say not to enter. This used to be a road that people would drive through every day to get to and from, like, if you were coming from Amherstburg going towards Windsor, it was actually a main road that people would drive. And I want to say, like, going back, like, I tried to dig back into these stories to see how far back, like, when they would have started. And they go back, like, all the way back to the War of 1812 and even before that, because there was a lot of activity there during the war. Like, it was owned by, like, it was native land first, and then I guess sometime around the war, it was kind of taken over. So, like, to find the origin of these stories is it's impossible. It's near impossible. But these stories go back from, like I said, all the way back from the 1800s, as far back as anyone can find, and they were just kind of passed down through generations. So originally, when I had heard about Texas Road itself, was from a family member of mine, someone I'm really close to, and he had told me about his experience when he went there, something to do with like a ghost car, and then he ended up swerving off the road, and that was kind of to avoid this car that was coming up right behind him. Like it ran him off the road. But then he turns and he looks, and this car just vanishes on the bridge. That's another thing that's at in Texas Road, is there is a little bridge that used to be like a one way. So if a car was coming, you'd have to actually pull over to let the car pass. So yeah, this car kind of comes up behind him, runs him off the road, and then just keeps going straight. And then he looks over. As he looks towards the bridge, this car just vanishes on top. At that point, he's nosed in near the trees. His truck's not starting. So he actually carried a spare battery in the box of the truck where he would kind of connect it to the other battery to get it going. And he pulls it out, connects the connectors, and at that point he like starts hearing things in the trees. So he turns around, gets back in the car, and he waits. At that point he sees like this shadow figure in the trees. And that's where he's like, yeah, I'm not getting out yet. So once it had vanished, it was only there for like a split second. He decides, okay, well, I gotta get this started. I gotta get out of here. So he goes out to check on the batteries, make sure everything's still connected properly. And when he gets there, the cables are hanging out of the front of the truck, and the battery that he had grabbed from the back and connected to them was gone. It had completely vanished. He had no idea where it went. It wasn't in the trees. It wasn't anywhere around that general location. Um, so that is a bit spooky. He never figured out where it went. Thankfully, a local came and helped him get his truck started, or he probably would have been stuck there for hours.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine, because I mean, it's like something that you couldn't see physically took an object, just made it disappear. Like, that to me is just, it's creepy.
That's
Like,
top shelf creepy.
yeah. So, I mean, that was where I had originally heard about it. From there, we did a lot of digging, and just there's so many locals and people from the area and around here that have heard of it. A lot of them have been there. It's just kind of a place people would go to like spook each other out. Like, hey, I'm going to take you over to this creepy place. And they'd walk through, and sometimes nothing would happen, but a lot of the times things did happen. So it really just depends on It depends on the day, I guess. Depends on who you ask.
Who you
Some of
ask?
the locals, if you ask them, they'll be like, "Oh no, it's not haunted at all," and they actually get mad at you if you try to say it's haunted. Which I don't understand that, because I mean, just because you didn't see anything doesn't mean that thousands of people are lying. I don't know,
Right. Yeah.
but
I
mhm.
don't know, I guess some people, at least from the way I see it, I think some people might just be really sensitive about it. They're
Yes, I
like, look,
agree.
that could give us a bad name and drive off any resemblance
Like,
of business or tourism in a 40-50 mile radius, and we're like, we don't want
I
that.
100% agree with that, because I seem to be personally, like, I'm sensitive to these things. Every time I go there, something weird happens. A lot of people probably think I'm crazy at this point, but I'm like, to me, it's not a coincidence. Every single time I go there, like, something completely weird that makes no sense happens.
Right.
And sometimes it is something explainable, like, but it's just weird coincidences. Like the one time we went there, and right as we're like, and this is at the point that it's a trail, we're walking through the trail, and right as we get to the front, there's a big, like, 5 point buck just runs out, and he was like standing on the bridge or something. And this is like an old abandoned thing. Like, okay, I do understand, obviously there's bridges and there's deers in the trees. That's not something, paranormal that we saw a deer, but it was just the timing, because we had said something about it, and then all of a sudden this deer just like pops out of nowhere, freaks us both out. And then the next time, this was like a week later, my fiance was driving down the road, and there was two deer just literally sitting on the road. And this was a busy road that they were sitting on, right where Texas Road connects with one of our main roads here called Walker Road.
Mhm.
These deer were just sitting on Walker Road, middle of the night. But I've never seen a deer sit on the road. Like, usually they're standing or they're walking by. No, they were like hanging out there, like they were having a nap. I don't know.
That is weird.
But right in the middle of the road. And he even said it was so weird just because it was right at like that connector. So they were technically on Texas Road. But like he said, it was almost like it's every time I go anywhere with him, but these deer are just showing up and in weird ways.
Yeah.
It's, and I'm not saying that it's crazy, like I said, to see a deer. Oh, okay, yeah, it happens. But like, there's certain things that are unexplainable like that. I've seen much
Yeah.
weirder things than that. That's just like one of the things, I guess, that people could explain.
Right. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is that is definitely weird because like deer, at least here in the Midwest, like yeah, they're gonna run through the road and they're kind of known as a bit of a dumb animal just because they'll run
Yeah.
out there anyways.
Yeah.
But I've never in my life heard or seen any just sit in the middle of the road.
Two of them too. Like, they were just sitting together, and then as he came up, they were just staring at him. And then he said he got to the point where he stopped, and then it slowly got up and then kind of left. And I'm like, that's weird. I've never heard of that. But it's like
Yeah,
things that you've never heard of happen there. It's like, why?
that
I
is
don't
crazy.
I don't know. And it's even like fog. Like, there's a fog there that a lot of people have seen, including myself, where the weird part is, if you're looking in the trail, there's a farmer's field on one side, and then the other side there's a field of grass and near a cemetery. And for me, anytime this fog would occur, it would just kind of pop up and show up in the trail. But if you looked right next to you in the field, clear, like there's no fog. And this fog looked more like smoke. That's the other thing that's weird about it, is it's almost like a pinpointed to one specific area, and it looks smoky, and it doesn't feel like when you walk through it, it just doesn't feel like moisture like fog does. It feels like heaviness
Right.
when you go into it. Like, it's the best way I can describe that, but it's
That
it's
is
very, very weird, and a lot of people have seen that.
that is definitely weird because yeah, most fog you go through it, it's wet
Mhm.
because fog is literally
It
condensed
also
water.
usually doesn't like follow you and stay about 10 steps behind you
No.
and follow you for a good like 10-minute walk, and it's following you, and then it just stops 10 feet away. That's weird.
Yep. Don't ask me to go to that road. That's all I'm saying. Just and to knock it off, there's a cemetery close by too. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
out.
it's right there. That's part
I'm
of that's
out.
part of the stories. Yeah.
I'm nope. I am a brave man, but
Yeah.
nope. That's some juju I ain't touching. I'm telling you that right now. um, are you more of a coffee or tea person? If neither, what's your favorite drink? Your go-to drink?
I love coffee. but I
Yes.
can't have caffeine, so it's got to be decaf coffee, which sucks.
Oh.
But it still tastes like coffee, so it's okay.
You got to drink the water.
Yeah, I miss the caffeine, but
Man, I don't know
health
what I'd
issues.
do.
Yeah,
I love coffee. Like,
I don't
don't get
even
me
know
wrong.
how I'm alive. Honestly, I used to drink like 4 or 5 of them a day.
Yeah, it's between my coffee and my energy drinks. Yeah, I honestly, it's beyond
Yeah,
me.
yeah. It used
It's
to be how I
beyond me.
functioned. I don't know how I switched to decaf because
I wouldn't be able
yeah.
to. I yeah, no. Outside of your creative projects and the TV show, what are some of your hobbies? Some things that you like to do?
I do paint. I do dabble in some art. I like those little crystal art paintings too with the little sticky things. I just, stress relieving. I read obviously and watch a lot of scary movies and, you know, really
What
into like TV shows like Dexter and stuff like that.
I like the original Dexter, but I just got to be honest. I can't really get behind the new one. Like, was it Resurrection? I think. I'm
It
just
was it was pretty good. They have the new one out now that
yep.
they're only releasing one episode a week, so it's hard for me to stay on it, but it was actually pretty good. If you can make it through, like, did you watch much of it or did you kind of just give up?
I got a couple episodes, and I'm like, I don't know. It didn't. I get it's
It's
like the evolution.
depressing that it's
Yeah,
not the same thing,
yeah.
but
I get it. It's later in life,
mhm,
but to me,
if you can make it through it, it actually does get pretty good. And oh, I don't want to spoil anything, but someone from the original comes back into it. So
oh, yep,
I don't know what's going to happen here, but it's like the newest season that just came out is pretty like on the edge of your seat.
right.
I'd say watch it.
Um, so let me ask you this then: what is your favorite scary movie of all time? Top favorite. If you had the chance, you'd watch it every time.
Ooh, that's really hard. I'd have to. I don't even know. I don't know. Like I'd have to go with it used to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre, okay? It used to be that between that and Scream. But that's if you're going with like original like slasher movies.
Yeah, that well, slasher
Horror.
is a whole different. At least in my opinion, slasher is a whole
Yeah.
different category
Okay,
because
if
like
we're talking like horror movies, I really, really loved the Conjuring
ooh,
series.
yes,
And yeah, like The Conjuring, Annabelle, The Nun, like
right.
those ones all went. Like those were probably some of my favorite newer ones. But I grew up on like Stephen King stuff, like Pet Cemetery and all that
Yeah.
too. So
Did you see there is a new? It's like I think they call it like the Conjuring final chapter or something coming out.
oh
It's like
yeah, yep,
the
that's
last
gonna be
chapter,
out in a couple months, I think.
right? Because
Definitely have to go
for
see that one.
me, I don't know. I get made fun of all the time when I because technically it isn't a super horror movie, but I really like Jason X. It's the one where it's set in space. Um,
I heard about that one, but I actually haven't seen it yet.
it's for me, it's like
It's like a
it's supposed to
sci-fi
be
horror.
yeah, it's supposed to be future, but you can tell that when they're making it, it still is when those movies are made. It definitely is not
Yeah,
super advanced, sci-fi stuff like you'd see on, for example, like the new Star Trek. Like
right.
you could tell it was made 80s, 90s, and with the tech they have. But I don't know. I'm simple that or one that really creeps me out, but I'll still always watch it for whatever reason. The Ring.
Oh, that was a good one. That one was good, but I
I
feel like I try to watch it now and it's not scary anymore to me. I
I
don't
don't know
know.
what happened. I'm the same way. Like I think it's for me. It's you just watch it so many times, and then
Mhm.
after a while, you're like, okay, look, this is never gonna happen. Okay, and second off,
Yeah.
like, but when I first saw
That
that
was
movie, oh, I peed my pants.
a
I'm
For
like
me, I
I'm.
think that was like Stephen King's It. That movie, the original one,
Mhm,
was just
yeah.
terrifying. Like I could not sleep for days after that. And I don't even know what it was. Like I don't know. Like am I just that scared of clowns? I don't know. But it was
To
pretty
be
scary.
to be
Yeah.
fair, clowns are. Uh,
Not right. There's
I
something
don't
wrong
want to.
with them.
Yeah, I don't. I don't want any part of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not scared to the point where I'm gonna freak out and go crazy, but I'm just like, mm-mm.
Yeah, like just you can stay over there, stay on that side of the room. Okay.
Yep.
You know, yep.
Yeah, it's I don't know, but there's Scream. Speaking of Scream, that was my all those were my
I
favorite growing up.
love Scream. I have so much Ghostface stuff right now. People think I'm crazy. Like I have Ghostface clothing, my bag. Like I have Ghostface right there. He's a bobblehead. Like I got him everywhere. Went through a
Yeah,
bit of a phase there. Yeah.
those are my absolute
Hmm.
favorites. Just because like it's not that like they were simple, but at
Yeah.
the same time it was just enough mystery that you're like, okay, what's gonna happen? Should I be concerned? Is there
Yeah.
gonna be jump scares? Is there gonna be so yeah, I those are my
I
absolute.
think and I think the newest one that they came out with Jenna Ortega in it, like
Yep.
the very, very last one where there was multiple, like
Hmm.
that
Oh yeah.
that got me. I was like, I was not expecting it. Kind of thought at one
Yeah.
point, okay, maybe there is, but that movie was really good. They did a good job on
Yeah.
that one.
They're making one more actually right now.
Yeah, I heard about that. Do you
Um,
know when that's supposed to be out?
I think
Hoping
next
for
year.
soon. Ah,
Um, because they had to film around Jenna because she did the new season of Wednesday.
right.
So
Yeah.
they were waiting on her to be done so she could be free. But yeah, that's supposed to be coming pretty soon, and supposedly it's already been confirmed. Matthew Lillard will be in the new
I
one,
heard that. Hmm.
which I don't
I'm
know
excited.
throws me for a loop because I thought he was dead. So
Was he though? I thought he got away. Was he?
I think because he played Stu, he was Stu, and I swear because in the end of the first one, I'm gonna say spoilers, but if you haven't seen the first one, well, I don't know what to tell you because that was decades
Yeah, yeah.
ago. But him and Bobby in the kitchen, and like, oh, it was us, and then I thought it's been a long time since I've seen it though, so it could you could
Hmm.
be right, but I was pretty sure
I can't remember
he
either,
got
which
killed.
is bad
Yeah.
because I watched it so many times. I should remember that, but I'm gonna
Right.
go watch it now when we're done talking. So.
Yeah, you have to let me know if I'm right or I'm wrong. Because
All right, will
but
do.
either way, I was pretty happy. I was really happy that um, they got for that new one. They ended up they got David Arquette back, and so they worked everybody in who was willing to come back
Yeah,
in a few roles just to kind of be like, hey, we acknowledge this is you're the original. You did this first kind of thing. Um,
right.
and ended up giving them more of a role than most probably would.
Hmm.
Anyways, another topic we could go on for ages and ages.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
um, like me, you love poetry. When did your love for poetry first begin? Do you think?
I used to write like innocent little poems when I was younger, probably around 10 or so. Um, See, I personally like I wouldn't even say that I know what type of poetry that I write. It's mostly just like the rhyming and I kind of just like if it flows, you know. I don't even know what the style exactly is called. It's not a haiku,
Right.
but I mean, I write a lot of grief poetry. So when you have a lot of emotions kind of pent up that you need to get out, like personally, even my writing style, a lot of it is like metaphoric. I want to say like you know what I'm saying in my
Right.
writing, but I write it where it kind of leads you to wonder what I'm saying at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite forms of writing, even with my thrillers or like the horror stuff that I write. And with the grief poetry, it's the same thing. Or even when I'm writing about, like I did one book with poetry in it that was about mental health,
Right.
and some of it was about like we were trying to figure out what mental health illness I was talking about because there were certain ones where I would go on about like anxiety or like panic attacks, PTSD, things like that. And it's like throughout the reading you're trying to figure out like which one is like what it is that I'm talking about. But at the same time, like you can tell. And I have a way of like kind of making the person who's reading the poetry like they can feel the emotions in it. And that's the one thing that I really strive to try to do. Like I want them to feel that emotion and kind of know that they're not alone in that feeling that they hold, you know.
Well, that's where poetry is really good, though. It is
Hmm.
no matter most people, you don't even need to type. It's more of just you're expressing whatever is on your mind or whatever you're going through. Um, because more oftentimes than not, you just need to get it out of your brain.
Exactly.
You just need to get it somewhere because the more it sits in there, the more you're thinking about it. So if you can get it out somewhere,
Hmm.
it just becomes a bit easier. So I definitely know how that goes. I mainly write haiku just because like I love the challenge because
Yeah.
it's 5 7 5. So those who don't know, you can 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and five. So it kind
Yeah.
of it kind of limits in a way what you can say.
Right.
But I've had people not understand because they're like, "Well, your second sentence has like 8 words in it," and I was
Hmm.
like, "But if you look at it, it is technically still only 7 syllables. So you could have many words as you want as long as it's still only 7 syllables. So you could have you know a longer sentence, and so it's people are like I don't get it. I'm like I don't know what to tell you. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it matches what it is.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
like I go as far as to because I publish mine a lot um, on my websites and I've had a couple go into some anthologies. Like I
Hmm.
have a syllable counter. Well, I would literally every time I write a sentence, I'll run it through there just to make sure
That you're
that
not
it
missing
is.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I've had the problem. You'll run into some purists where they're like, "Oh, I read that. That's six. That's not
Hmm.
five." And I'm like,
Hmm.
well, we're just
Yeah.
gonna we're gonna double check. Um,
Better be safe than sorry, I guess.
exactly. Yeah. I don't know. I find it the most therapeutic too because it forces you to think about it, and so
Hmm.
you're being forced to create that and think about it and work within those restrictions, and whatever else is bugging you is just gone because you don't have time to think about it.
Right.
Sitting here
Right.
trying to dig in and figure out, oh, hey, I got to meet this requirement,
Yeah.
and you're not stuck on everything else.
Yeah. So it's
So,
like your own little like form of therapy
yeah,
too.
it's
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like I can, it's not even just limited to that. Like I can, all the anthology poems that I've had published,
Hmm.
I've literally just you have to write off their topic. I don't keep much around. I write it either when I feel I need to get something out, or if I want to publish something, I'll write it specifically to whatever their anthology is,
Hmm.
and then I'll just sit down and write like anywhere between 10 to 30, and then just pick the best four and be like, here you go. Do you want them? Because most
Right.
of it's usually like 3 to 5 that you're allowed to submit, and then they'll pick whichever one they want. So, but
Right.
yeah, that's just me. Um, Before we end off today, did you have any signings or events or anything that you wanted to promote and share with everybody?
Yeah, so there's two different things I guess going on soon. The first thing is just that I'm working on a book called Tales of Sandwich Town. So it's along the same lines as Texas Road. There's Sandwich Town in Windsor, which is literally you cross the Ambassador Bridge, you're already in it. That's where it is when you
Right.
cross that bridge. And you've got like the Windsor Jail there. There's Mackenzie Hall and kind of the whole surrounding area there. Right now, I'm working on the book. It's called Tales of Sandwich Town. It's looking to hopefully be out October 15th is when I'm looking to have the release date for the pre-orders. Um, I need stories. So if anyone has any experiences or has seen anything weird in Sandwich Town that can be anywhere, whether it be in the buildings, on the streets, in the cemetery, in the house there, anywhere, if it falls in that area, I'm looking to hear your stories so that way they can be added as well into the book of experiences, just so other people can kind of know what's going on there. So that's the one thing that's going on.
Where's the best place for people to submit those stories to you if they have something?
So the absolute easiest place I would say is to contact me on my Facebook page, which is author KG Miceli. I'm extremely active there. if you can't, for whatever reason, if you don't have Facebook or something, you could also look me up on Instagram. It's the same name. And then my email also is authorkgmiceli@outlook.com. So you can also send me an email there.
And I will have, guys, I will have everything, all of her links in the description, as well as a link to purchase your copy of The Tales of Texas Road, if you're interested in hearing about some of the stories that you might possibly be seeing in the TV show. So with that being said, KG, thank you for taking the time out of your evening to chat with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. It was nice talking with you.
Of course, yeah. We'll have to get together and do a horror film show one of
Yeah,
these days and see
let's do it.
see what we can come up with.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome.
All right, have a great rest of your evening.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Bye.